kilometers from the Gaza border inside a tunnel.
It's not just tunnel, it's a terror tunnel. Hamas takes a large part of its budget to build this kind of structure and to build a military force. The only purpose was to do massive killing inside Israel and a surprise time.
I want to get a sense of what it's like to fight in a tunnel like this, because in the infantry, you're usually outside in different conflicts, you're underground, but this is a whole nother level.
It's a physical, psychological challenge to fight inside tunnels like that.
You know, guys, it is, when you look at the amount of investment that Hamas has put into these tunnels, it's staggering. Money and resources that were supposed to be put toward providing infrastructure for their own people, they pour into the ground in terror tunnels. Now, the tunnel we've got on the screen right here is the type of tunnel that I saw, which is a tunnel they had attempted to use for years, for decades, to infiltrate into Israel. So you say this is the Gaza Strip. They build a tunnel at various lengths, various sizes, to get underneath the border wall that they could never find an opportunity to get over, which of course we now know they did, and then pop up amongst the civilian population, which was the biggest fear of people in South Israel, is Hamas in our backyard in the middle of the night and we didn't see it coming. This is a very basic graphic of a basic tunnel. Let me fast forward you to a basic sense to the next screen of what the Gaza Strip looks like. It looks like spaghetti. In fact, what we know at a baseline is there are 300 linear miles of tunnel. 300 linear miles. And we're not talking about the tunnel I just showed you, which is one meter through. We're talking about multiple layers, multiple floors, barracks where people can sleep and live, command headquarters, meeting rooms, multiple entrances and exits. So as you're clearing the Gaza Strip, as Israel hopes to do, you're not just clearing buildings and then floors in those buildings. You've got to go subterranean as well. And maybe you clear a building and then people went underground and they come back up. And this is why I say, Aisha, you mentioned regional partners.
Right.
That's important, because if you can walk back from having to do hostage rescue in these scenarios and instead get a hostage release, that's what you want. I mean, if you could put enough pressure and leverage to get some of these, especially Americans, released, do it now, because the idea of a coordinated hostage rescue inside Gaza with that dense of a population, with this extensive of a tunnel system, I don't care how good your intelligence is. I don't care how good your hostage rescue team is. This is graduate level with impossible circumstances to actually navigate.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a nightmare. Educated guess, that at least some of the hostages are subterranean in this complex labyrinth.
I've seen reporting of that, and why wouldn't they be? Because there probably are levels that are yet undetected. If there were tunnels that Israel could not detect for many years underneath, then there are new layers of tunnels underneath Gaza that Hamas...
On a crucial point that Pete made, there has been an enormous amount of aid sent to Gaza, including from the United States, and Hamas has squandered so much of that money on military preparation like this. They take money and they turn it into terrorism.
Well, Hamas leadership made that very evident when they spoke to Russia television. And they said, look, the United States, we were collecting the money. We looked as if, and made it look as if we were focused on humanitarian efforts in our region, in our area, and we fooled the world. We fooled the world, because while the Israelis love life, and they made that very clear, we see something beyond life. We planned and strategized, and they did. And they planned and strategized utilizing that money. And by the way, a lot of money from Iran, and I think Pete understands that as well. A lot of this money comes from Iran to build these tunneling systems. I was in Ramya East Tunnel, Pete, just 2 months ago with IDF forces, with Israeli Defense Forces. I was able to see